And we are live, I believe. Good morning, JoJo. So today, here we are, day 2, our second tour of Italy. We have Joseph in Fermo with his lovely girlfriend, fiance Caterina. Catalina? Has Caterina? Is that how you say?
See,
I always say it wrong. Anyway, so we have him here. He's going to show us Fermo, and I'll just open in prayer. Heavenly Father, we just come to you in Jesus' name. We just ask that you be here, Lord, and I pray that you guide Joe on what to show us. Pray the stream goes well, and that people just be blessed by what they're going to see today, Lord. And we just thank you. We praise you in Jesus' name. So, Joe, go ahead. I'm going to try to figure out how to shrink my screen down so that it'll be just your stuff. But take her away.
Okay. Well, good morning. I think in California, it's afternoon here. It's actually very hot. We're having a small heat wave, and the heat wave was in the news. That's how hot it is right now. But I am in the highest point in Fermo. It's called the Gerifuochi. And Fermo is the city I moved to 8 years ago. And I bought a villa 7 years ago, exactly in May. And so I thought today we would talk about the center of Fermo. And Fermo, in and of itself, has an incredible history. It's a hilltop medieval city. And actually did a little research this morning. I actually forgot about some of the history here in Fermo. But Fermo, there's remains that were found from 8th or the 9th century before Christ. And that was the Villanovan culture, or the Iron Age. And I think that's how they determine antiquities. They go by the metals that they found. And so after the Villanovan, then there was the Etruscan culture, or the Etruscan civilization that lived here. And that was the Bronze Age. So they started making things out of bronze. Then the Romans entered, and in the year 260 before Christ, the Romans made this a Roman colony. And the Roman colonies was the highest status of a Roman city at the time. And so Naomi, I'm gonna change the camera, okay? So we can start seeing. Oops. Did that work? How come I can't see? Naomi, are you there? Can you hear me? Naomi.
Yeah, I can hear you. I just got myself out of the stage. So go ahead and get out and come back in like you did last time. And then click the camera. It was camera number 2, right? Yeah, because you clicked the wrong button this last time. Can you hear me? Can you hear me or no? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Naomi.
Yeah. So go ahead and click out, just like you did last time, because you're going to be doubled now. So click out of what you're at, get all the way out, and then come back in like you did last time. All right, guys, technical difficulties. We're learning. Did it on my computer this time. There you are. Okay, so make sure you hit the right camera this time. I think it was number 2, right? Or 3. It was flipping back and forth, remember? Can you hear me? There you go.
Okay,
perfect.
how's that?
Perfect.
Okay, we're back.
Now I'm going to take myself out of the stage, so I won't be able to talk because I won't be in the stage. So if you need me to say, hey, Nate, come back in, okay? So make the screen bigger. There you go.
All right. Okay, so this is the back of the Duomo. And the Duomo or cathedral is built, this was built in the year 1227, 1227, on top of the highest peak. So this part of Fermo is called Girifalque Parque, which is the highest point park. And they built this cathedral. At the time, it was a church. It became a cathedral later. And you could see these windows actually went under, but everything gets built up. And so this is Girifalque Park. And we're going to do a walking tour. And you could see how enormous this is. And it was built in 1227. It was then destroyed, or they had to restructure it because there's so many wars and battles in Italy, in particular Fermo. And this is an antique. Can you see that? That's an antique astrological or clock. It's pretty fascinating. And I don't know how to read it. And I would love to go into the Duomo, but I think because it's open, but I think it's because there's a wedding going on. But
Hey,
we're
Joe.
gonna,
Joe,
yes,
can you hear me? I just want to tell you one little thing. So while you're going, if you'd stop for a minute and kind of show like the photo for a minute, like the whole thing, and then
okay,
share about it, because it's not you're doing good though, but just so that people could get a real good visual of what you're looking at.
okay.
I'm
Should
gonna
I
go back
go
out.
back to the and should I go back to
No,
the
no, no.
antique?
Yeah. Just
Okay,
going forward, however you're doing your thing, just kind of focus in on it a little bit, just
okay,
so we can kind of look at it a little more.
okay. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. I mean, I didn't comprehend. So I'm gonna sneak inside the church, okay? Things were written in Latin at that time. This is enormous. No, this is not a wedding. I think this is the actual mass. I'm gonna sneak in, okay? That was mass, and you're not allowed to be in there with the camera filming. So we just broke one of their laws. So if you can see the door and what's above, each one of those guys has a story. Each one is different. I believe that is 12 apostles. And they actually built, backing up, let me back up a little bit more. Because of the famous bike race that ended here last week, there's been a lot of tourism and publicity. But let me show you one spot that they added in the year, oh gosh, what was the year again? 1348. They added the bell tower. They call that round circle, that's a rose window. And that's kind of famous for the Gothic churches. This is considered a Gothic cathedral. So now we are going to walk down and we're going to see uh, a Etruscan road. So this road, it was going to be built a couple hundred years before Jesus. This is how we got here. This is my whip, my Vespa. So this road here, and let me go in the sun and you can see, this isn't cobblestone as we saw last week. This is made out of brick, the brick you see here. But it's fascinating because they make humps. Like right there's a little hump, level, hump, level, hump. And that was for back in the day, the horses and the carts that would carry, it would help. Once it got past the hump, it would help to stop the fear of the cart rolling backwards. But this wall that we see here, this on the other side is the Roman theater, the antique Roman theater that's a couple thousand years old. And straight ahead, you see a cat, very large blackened cat. But to the left is the old Etruscan road. So this road is a Roman road. This is open. So very seldom is this ever open. So this is the old antique Roman theater. You see the enormity of it.
Yeah, so hold the camera still and like look at little pieces of it, and then like if you were looking, you'd be looking at, you wouldn't just move your head around, so people could really enjoy what you're looking. That's beautiful.
You know what's amazing is that I turn left. The camera is the opposite of what I'm trying to do. And so so this is the old Roman wall, Roman theater. It's now a well-known conservatory. Over there is a convent, and we're gonna come up to that point soon. And I live on the other side of that hill over there. You can see Conoro, that's a hill, white cliffs. That blue area is the sea, but this is the old antique Roman theater. Thousands of years old. So now we'll go back out to the Roman road, and it is a black cat that I see. We're also gonna pass, see the gato. So here on the left, or my left, is the old Etruscan road. I'm sorry, Etruscan wall. This is 2,500 years old. Okay, so down here a little bit, we're gonna step inside what's called Kitty, the Parque Memoria. The memorial park was created for the persons who died in World War I, the Prima Guerra, Kitty. No, Prima. And you can see how many. They planted a tree for every, or just for memory of all the people in Fermo who died in World War One. And as I mentioned, this country, a lot of European countries, but especially Italy, has had so much blood spilt here in this land. I semi-joke that the reason things grow so well is because it's the blood spilled by the Italians. So they created this park. It's absolutely beautiful. As you enter, and then all the trees. It goes all the way up and then all the way around. And this is called Memory Park as a memorial for the citizens of Fermo who died in the First World War. And we're gonna go to a street now, which is called a via. Via is street. And this street, you can see the road made out of matone. I said matone earlier. It's brick. Matone is a brick in Italian, so I'm sorry. So we're gonna finish with the brick road and arrive to the cobblestone. So this is cobblestone. Oops. Dewy shadows. And this is typically the type of road in Italy and Europe, Spain. And look at this. No one's getting in there. But they built up in the city. They would never build that window so low to the ground. So everything gets built up. This is an old door that's been closed. And Kitty, questo conservatorio? The università? Oh, but this is scuola, see? This, the building here, which on the other side is the Roman theater. This is the,
Question for you. So slow down a
okay,
second. Okay, so you know how it goes down to the ground down there, and like I say, nobody would build that low. That's because stuff's been built up on top of everything that was below it. So I wonder if you're
correct.
in those buildings, how far down you can go. If they've dug down into them, if there's tunnels and stuff that are there, because it seems like no matter where you go, there's always tunnels under everybody's buildings everywhere. It's crazy. I mean, and they could
You're
drive through them.
absolutely right. But here, you're going to walk directly into your flooring. But there are houses that they did not put flooring in, and it's called a grotto, which is literally a cave. And they put there'll be a cantina or an oil press, or it'll be a place to store wines. And it's fascinating to go inside someone's house and see a grotto, an underground. What it would be underground to us, but to them, it's a storage place. Okay, so now
That'd be
I'm
really
going to
cool though to be able to
explain.
go down and start digging underneath there, right?
Oh,
Imagine what
they
you might
do.
find.
They do.
Yeah, yeah.
They do. So this is, well, this is the Kitty, questa università adesso?
No, un istituto si chiama Gioia.
Okay.
Istituto.
Okay, Instituto. But I want to show you this. Back in the day, hundreds of years ago, this building, oops, was a hospital. And what people would do if they had an unwanted baby, they would come here, set the baby down, and inside you can't see the reflection. There's a door, and the nuns would open the door, spin the wheel, the table, and they would take in the baby, and nobody would know whose baby it was. And this is where the convents would get a lot of their uh, nuns and friars from the unwanted babies that grew up in a convent. But it's just fascinating that they had a window that you could put your child, your newborn infant, and they would take care of it. This is a famous tower. And at Easter time, the door, they had everything open, and we were able to go inside and walk up a little bit. But where I live, there's two of these towers. This is the first tower. And then where I live, closer to the open sea area, is the second tower. And they call them the sister towers. And that's how they communicated to each other. And if there was uh, uh, a war coming on through the ships, they would communicate. And you could see these towers built all over. In where I live, you could see 9 from my home, because I live on a hill, huge, amazing panoramic view, and you could see 9 of these towers that just go for I don't know, I think it's 100 miles, but that's how the towns communicated with each other, like 1 fire by sea, 2 fire by land or something. Okay, so this is Monte di Piete, the Mount of Pity. And can you see the, and that's the nome di Santa, do you ricordi?
Lei è la Beata Vergine Maria.
Oh, this is Madonna.
Madonna che lei accoglie poveri, persone malate, persone povere sotto il suo mantello.
See the people underneath her cape? That is the Madonna, Virgin Mary, who protects the poor and the sick. And so this was a hospital at one time. They're reconstructing this church. So we're going to walk down this road, and we're going to arrive at the piazza. And the Piazza del Popolo, the Plaza of the People. And they're actually having an event. I'm not sure what it is, but there's a lot of people inside. Do you want to see another tiny, tiny church? Okay, I'm going to go in. I don't remember the name of this church, but here's another.
Yeah, I wish we could get more focus of that, because those are beautiful tiles up on top.
Those are called frescoes, name. That's a real fresco.
Can you see them any closer? Can you go
No.
back in and look? No?
No, there's people in there praying, name. So I'm not even allowed to go in there with the camera. But people do it all the time. Like me talking with the camera. I'm not comfortable yet. Maybe next time I'll feel a little bit more comfortable doing it. When I lived here, I used to live in the piazza. I love this little street. You could see it. You could see the Conero in the very, very far distance. That's the Riviera. That's a 40-minute drive. But they have these little tiny streets. This is their stop sign, so no driving. That goes up and down. This is the Palazzo Azzolino. Questo è di polizia?
No, no, non è polizia.
Just solo. Here, I used to love coming here, and I'll stop in a moment. I believe this is, it could be an office for lawyers. And so back in the day, it was owned by a very rich person who owned the whole palazzo. And Naomi, you asked me last week, they do live, I mean, they work below, and most of them would live up above. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is a 4-story building here. And the height of the ceilings is anywhere from 12 to 15 feet. Because when they built these, they didn't have heating or air conditioning. So they had very high ceilings to help with the heat and the cold. I used to eat here all the time. This is Ristorante Belli. This has a fantastic, fantastic panoramic view on the other side, but they're closed now. So things will be opening up around 5 o'clock. So right now, everything's closed and there's hardly anybody out and about. I actually have 2 paintings from this artist at my house because I wanted to have local artists paint or paintings and have local artists.
Can you go back to those pictures and focus on them a little bit and slow down? Because you went pretty fast by them.
Well, they're also that style, so they're going to look like they're out of focus. Let's see, maybe if I got up a little.
I think the window reflection is why I can't see them really good because the sun's
Yeah, the
shining on the
reflection.
windows. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, that's that style where they're not picture perfect. What's it like not a Picasso, but Van Gogh, where it's not really clear what you're looking at. That's the mayor's office, and they're having their elections now. That's the post office at the very end of this little street. In fact, I have to go to the post office to mail a letter to Florida to renew my international driver's license permit because I can't seem to be able to pass the driving test. So another little tiny street you could walk up, and then there's a spot that you go up and there's all new apartments up in that area. So in a moment, we will be in the piazza. This is a farmacia, pharmacy. This is a gift shop. I have bought many gifts here, coffee cups, picture frames. This is like a small bodega. It'll be opening soon. But this has all artisan type of meat, cheese, excellent wines. A little bit more expensive, but it's all artisans. Very, very good. I don't know how they make a living here, actually, in these little tiny shops. And this is a cafe. And when I moved here, when I first moved here, the house I stayed in didn't have Wi-Fi. And so I would come here in the morning and have my breakfast, which is called colazione, cafe and a brioche, and I would use their Wi-Fi and became good friends because I was here every day, every morning, and I would continually buy these biscuits and cookies and pastries because I felt obligated to, because I was there. See, everything is kind of closed and get ready to open. So this is the piazza. I'll stop in just one moment. Okay. Piazza del Popolo. Here, this is famous for many reasons, but if you see, I'm going to stop once I get past these people. See the very high arcing, those are called porticos, and these are extremely high. And these were built in the 16th century. Here's the other side, and those are porticos. I love the porticos because usually when you go to another city like Bologna or another famous city that has porticos, they're half this height. He is one of the popes, Pope Sisto. Pope Sisto. Inside is all kinds of antiquities, famous relics. The globe, there's another, where am I pointing? Why is it different? It's the opposite. So there's another clock up there, but that underneath that clock is the same spot that the globe is in. And that globe was made in the 17th century, and it's this huge round globe. It's about 6 feet wide, 6 feet tall, and they didn't even know that there was 5 continents at that time. So it only has 4 continents in the globe room, and you could walk across a little walkway and arrive, and this is the library. And I wish we could go inside, but it's closed. And inside the library is hundreds and hundreds of antique books that are 400, 500, 600 years old. And they're very, very large because they were all translated by friars and tucks and copied with hand and ink. So there's minimum presses. I think there's only one at the time. And to the left, down that area, then you could walk and enter into the Roman cisterns. And these cisterns are over 2,000 years old. And it's fascinating, name. It's all underneath where we're standing right now. And there's 30 enormous rooms that was filled with water. And then they had some type of piping network that went out, and all the citizens of Italy were able to get their water at the through the piping faucets. But this is the piazza. Directly ahead, it's really fun. On after Christmas, they have a thing called che nome dopo Bufana Escare de Sinistra.
Befana, la festa della Befana, 6 gennaio.
The January 6th every year, they have Befana, which the legend is Befana gave the wrong directions to the three wise men, and ever since then she's been running from people. So they have a really fun event where these people, women, dress with long noses like a typical witch, like Halloween, big pointy nose and whisk broom, and they climb out of those windows and have contests on a rope down all five of those, well, four of the windows, and they climb down, and so many people are dressed like Bafana, and they're giving out candy. It's such a fun event. But I used to live down that road in a very small apartment, and then I would arrive at night to finish my Wi-Fi and work, and I'd have a cocktail or a beer, a glass of wine at the Popolo. So I would start my day in the cafe down there, and I would end my day there. But now I have bought a house. I live in a villa a couple kilometers, about a mile and a half away. But this is just a small, small piece of Fermo. It is just absolutely fascinating. And it's where I actually found this beautiful young lady. And she is extremely important to my life, obviously. But that's about all I was going to share today, Name. And we'll come back and see another part of Fermo or another part of La Marque next week if you want.
Well, good. Really nice. Yeah, hopefully, like when we do it again, more things will be open so you could actually go in and look. And I would have loved to seen you walk into that library and just look at the size of the books. You know, that'd have been nice, but you can't. It's not open, right?
No, not on a Saturday afternoon, Name. No.
Yeah. Well, one of these days when those kind of places are open, maybe you can just go make some videos. You know, take some pictures and do some shorts,
Ah.
and then you can come back and share those with me. You know, you could go in
really?
just 5 minutes. Yeah, just go on and just make some little videos. And say,
yeah, that would be possible, Nick.
And when you come back, you can share them, or you can send them to me and I can share them, or however it works, right?
Oh, okay. Sure,
we'll do that.
sure. Great idea.
Good.
Great idea.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right,
well, God bless you, and you guys have a wonderful day, and look forward to the next one. Take care.
All right, Nate. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Ciao.
Have a good day. Ciao.
Ciao.